Hello, concert band woodwinds and brass. This is the first lyrical etude for both instruments, or for all instruments. The one at the top of the page. Remember that you only need to pick one from each side, so if you're already doing a different lyrical etude, you obviously don't need to prepare this one as well. Before we start, you should pause the video right now and make sure you have at least a pencil in your music, and probably you want your instrument too, so that you can try out some of the things that we're going to talk about. Okay. So this is really a very straightforward lyrical etude. It's actually some sort of traditional folk song. I'm not sure exactly what the name of it is. But it has most of the phrasing written in for you, so that's good. You can also see the key signature and the time signature are not too bad. As we go through, it is slow, but you do need to keep a consistent pulse, which doesn't mean you can't take time, like a little retard here and there, but the notes have to be kind of even with each other. So a half note really does need to be twice as long as a quarter note, etc. People tend to cut the long notes too short, so don't do that. One more thing as we go through is that these breath marks here that you see quite a few of are really only there for phrasing. So if you're an instrument like an oboe or a trumpet or something that doesn't need quite as much air, you don't have to take them as long as you make a little bit of a phrase there. Okay, so we're going to look first at the first phrase, which is not there. It is here, obviously, at the breath mark. Really, this is just sort of our introduction. You'll want to phrase with the line. So as the musical line goes up, right, higher notes, you get a little louder. Lower notes, you get a little softer. You'll also want to kind of emphasize dissonant notes. So accidentals are probably a good clue. Okay, I'm going to play this first phrase for you, and you'll see that in action. You might have noticed that I had a few notes that didn't really speak. It's probably because I was trying to play too quiet. One of the dangers with a soft etude is that you're going to try to play it too quietly. It says piano, shh, gotta play really quiet. Actually, you should try to play at a dynamic that's comfortable. When it's just you by yourself in an etude, you're not going to drown anybody else out if you play too loud. So play at something that is comfortable. Okay, in the second phrase, so from here to here, maybe, we are crescendoing. That's what's written. And it's also, you'll notice, getting happier, right? We're actually transitioning to the relative major key. So we've been in a minor key. We're transitioning to a major key here. And this whole mezzo forte section is actually really kind of bright and uplifting. So you will see that now. I'm going to play it for you. So it's kind of settled. You can see we've got B flat as a pretty strong kind of home note there, at least for a minute. So we're in B flat major here, or I guess concert A flat major. This is a trumpet part. Okay, next phrase, third phrase, is going to be kind of a short one. So you can see the next breath mark is actually pretty close. And what's going to happen is that we're going to extend a phrase later. So you do want to take this breath mark so you're going to have enough air to power through on that crescendo. In this section right here, I think it sounds good to kind of emphasize, not an accent per se, but a little bit, just a little bit of emphasis on those top notes, and maybe even a tiny bit of a accelerando, getting faster, just sort of a cascading effect. And this is really kind of our descent back into the darkness. We're going back to a minor key here, so just kind of a tumbling, cascading effect. And then in phrase 4, as I said, the last phrase, you're going to want to really kind of power through up to this really peak note there before you just kind of finish it off. So I will play the rest of it for you. Here I go. So you can hear kind of all the musical tension is really building towards that one note, that one concert C there. So there's tension, you're accelerando, big crescendo here. This breath, sorry, you can't probably see what I'm doing. This breath right here should not be too long. You shouldn't interrupt the flow there because you are moving forward at this point. Okay, I think that's all I have for you. I'm going to finish up by playing it all the way through so you can kind of hear the whole thing as a unit. But enjoy working on this, and good luck.